Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Midnight Brands coming to you with live prep for March 7th, 2023. Going to go ahead and get started here in just a quick second. Hope everybody had a great Monday, and we'll see you in the prep here in 20 seconds. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Hey, there you are. How's it going? There we go. Good morning. How's it going, man?
Fantastic, brother. How about yourself?
Doing good. Thank you. Beautiful Tuesday morning.
Yes, it is, man. It's fantastic. The shortage of words to describe how amazing the morning is.
All right. You're definitely a morning person. I'm pushing to try to be a morning person, but
It doesn't have to be just the morning. The evening is beautiful too.
oh yeah,
The day is beautiful too.
oh yeah, no, the evenings are awesome. Evening time's amazing. 4:30 crap is silliness.
I don't know. I love it, man. It's just something about the quietness. Just like, the world hasn't woken up yet.
Yeah,
You can get shit done.
that is very true.
I mean, I guess you feel the same way when you're working past midnight, right?
Yep.
Nobody really bothers you. You're in your zone. I feel that way in the morning. It's like, I can get a lot of shit done now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Leave me alone. Let me get shit done. Yeah. All right. Well, I do have UVXY pulled up, but I also pulled up SVXY as well, and figured at least walk through that and do it for a couple days. We don't like it, can move back, but UVXY again has like no penny, not even penny wide zones again. So just kind of say, well, screw it. We said we were going to look at it. Might as well take a look at it and see how it goes. Okay, so I did cheat and kind of flip through a bunch of these already. So at least, yeah, I think I flipped through SVXY as well. I mean, that's kind of the way that I divvied it up already, although I take back one piece on it already. Kind of drag this down to capture the daily dotty. looks like SVXY's pushing up a little bit, so that'll push full ADRs just a tad higher. That photo zone with the monthly trend guide reversal and what's that, weekly trend guide reversal 1 looks pretty nice because it also would capture highs from back in February. And theoretically it'll have photo ADRs in there. What was it? Its stuff was 54 cents, so that's 66.55. Might as well actually just dump this guy. Make that zone look like that. I think that's kind of what I think in thinking for SVXY there.
Not bad. You just, that TGR zone, you don't want to get it together with the quarterly.
And then it's right with trend strength, right?
Mm. Oh, okay, never mind, sorry. Yeah.
Although that said, what we can do is we could drag it up to capture the open of this candle here. And kind of get it like that. Have to see how that one goes. It's different. So we're just gonna have to think about that and how to lay it out over time. Alright, well I'm typing that stuff in. I'm gonna load up SPY here. Tuesday, March 7th. Oh, shoot, not SPY. Gotta do VIX first. Oh, crap, I didn't look at VIX. I skipped past it.
Would you, I was looking at, well, your VIX here is pretty much the same as that. Kind of makes me feel like it could do a home market bottom just as well. Kind of noting that a lot of instruments yesterday on a closing basis kind of closed out with a doji looking candle.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, VIX, UVXY, if they want to do some type of home market bottom, which would also look at those zones down there, it's pretty nice, you know.
How?
Weekly TGR with the monthly TGR, so just really nice zones if we go push down there.
Yeah.
And that would also be a double bottom, right?
Yeah, it would be because we hit it back early February.
Yeah. But that's kind of. You think that's a lot, or no?
I mean, it's $1.50. It's not. I mean, that's kind of in the range. I mean, it's full ADRs even down there today, and we're opening. Looks like we're going to be kind of flat on that one at least.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping in the season kind of just push higher up to that trend, FTGR again.
Yeah, I'm torn on that. Like, I kind of want it. I kind of don't.
Oh, you're still in it?
I am. I closed my NQ short last night when it stopped going down, but I'm short a call spread on Tesla, so I'm short the 195 strike, long the 197.50. So I'm short those that call spread, but I'm also long some Apple puts when we went up into that kind of massive zone, as well as the end of week dotties on Apple yesterday. So
You notice we hit the, I know I'm changing things here, but we'll get right back to it. I just wanted to see if you saw we hit the Meta OPEX studies yesterday to the tick pretty much.
I did, yeah, I did see that.
So low. And I think ZB was also another one. Or was it ZB? No.
Yeah,
It was just a daily body, something like that. That was insane.
I really thought about taking the some meta puts and just decided against it because it just that news catalyst just sent it really soaring. So it's kind of like, do I really want to? Yeah, because on that I wasn't thinking puts on that one. I was thinking to short some call spreads and just kind of I decided against it. We'll see. Mostly because I just don't have like, that Dottie configurations worked really great. You know, the cheats, but the OPEX stuff, like this is only the second month that we've looked at it, and so I hesitated for sure. But it was really cool to see like to the dot.
Yeah.
I like your hypo thought though on the on SVXY and UVXY and VIX. I mean, SVXY would probably be the same thing. It'd be a double top if it did the same thing, where it rose up and VIX would come down and double tap the bottom there. So that could be pretty interesting. Okay, it doesn't look like I made a bunch of adjustments, but I think that's pretty good there. One thing I was just looking at on the daily. I don't really like that. Like I said when we were talking yesterday, like to me, I don't like these ABCDs when they kind of come back up. And your point was, well, but dude, it made a higher or a lower high, so. But that would be pretty damn interesting there, especially with where that ABCD would terminate. Because that 1473, I think, points us back to like January or something. November.
Oh, nice.
Of course, you could also be doing something like this. Today's candle is probably 1820, which is right in this area here, so between TGR and photo ADRs. Anyway, I think that's pretty good there. Guess I might as well draw the arrows to these. Really not as interested in those kind of ones.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can look at SPY. Come on, GC, hold this zone.
I forgot the interview one.
So, oh yeah, oh the one yesterday at the highs.
No, I was talking about GC.
Oh. Yeah, I kind of wanted to hold this trend guide WPP zone and not. I really don't want it to go down and grab photo ADRs, but I'm afraid it's going to. There's also
that down there, that angle to the point giving could be long.
yeah, there's also a, well, I guess it just took out the trend line, so probably invalidates my thesis. And it extended past the ABCD already. Anyway, coming back to SPY, keep an eye on that off to the side. So I made some adjustments on this one earlier. So at the top there, there you go. Combined the quarterly trend guide, monthly trend guide stuff into one zone. Be about kind of $8 there, give or take. Then below that, kind of added a div that wasn't there to include full ADRs and the daily cheat, tier 1 I should say, of the daily cheat. Then next up was the weekly trend guide, gap fill, double gap fill actually in that area, and then January's highs for some historic structure there. And actually pulled that down a little bit to grab yesterday's highs and the photo ADRs. I kept the trend guide reversal zone really small. And then we have.
Show the daily chart on your thing.
Yep. Sorry. $405.20. Yeah, the day VWAP's gonna be down here at trend strength reference point. Like we're just starting to come up to it now. Yeah, I guess you could kind of expand this zone here and pull it up to the supply and demand. And it's not like you're talking a lot. It's like 30 cents. It's already a kind of a wide zone to include the 20-day EMA, the monthly pivot, but there's so much stuff right there that it's kind of like almost feels like you kind of need to have it wide there for that reason.
You also have the little gap interview up from the third.
Yep.
It's just at the lower end of the supply and demand.
Yeah, I guess you might as well kind of just drag this up and catch it like that. I didn't include this div one here to include the photo ADRs. I mean, it's there, but it kind of felt like the way it was setting up earlier that the SPY was going to keep rising, so that would move the photo ADRs up and kind of keep pulling this full ADR up, probably closer to WPP. And so then photo is going to just be kind of in the middle of stuff in here, so it's kind of ignoring the photo ADRs. In my mind, at least, although there is a 5-minute swing anchor VWAP there from 840 on the second. And you can see on the 60 minutes, in pretty damn same spot too. And then further below that, if we keep going, then you've got February 24th. Day VWAP there with gap fill, supply and demand. And then failing that, you get even further with weekly trend guide and tier 1 end of week sheets. And then we'd mark some historical structure there too in the past. Yep, that's not going to go. So that's SPY, at least in my mind.
Sorry, man, I kind of had to take a call real quick. Is everything else good?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was just kind of walking through my thoughts there on it. So I mean, I think that's kind of it on SPY there. Nope, marked the wrong thing there. it's really just a note here. Expanded to include supply demand, swing AV WAP, 20-day structure. And then we added this zone here for div. Added div full ADR tier 1 date sheet. I'm just going to briefly look at queues. I know Tim ends up normally prepping that, so I'll just briefly look at queues here. I've marked it up earlier as well. So some nice ones to me on that. So you got the APP monthly trend guide reversal, weekly trend guide reversal 2 structure. I pulled it up just a tad as well to get the tier 2 or tier 1, I'm sorry, end of week cheat at that level, at that 308 level. And then below that you get your full and photo ADRs that I included as an extra div along with the tier 1 day cheat. And then moving down, you've got weekly trend guide reversal and daily trend guide reversal. Why did I mark? Oh, I marked trend strength in case we decide we want to not go past it. And then there was also the swing AV WAPs there from the 6th, i.e. yesterday. But I pulled it down to only grab the 1020 to skip that kind of 945 one. And then moving below that was kind of the MPP daily trend guide one.
Right.
I guess you could potentially combine these two, like the WPP and this div and zone here potentially, but I just
Would you want to make a so say make like a little dip zone possibly on that interview up at the lower end, lower end of the supply and demand. Yeah, that right there.
right there.
You see how you also have some nice response there on the 10th of February.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we replaying this, and it's also on the, yeah, you see it right there. So you got, it could be like a little reclaim, retest type of thing with the look, the swing interview up. You got it.
Slate gray. Don't think any of those are the ones that I want. We'll just pick it for now and move on. Yeah, that's not a bad one to note there. especially because you got the 20-day right there. That daily anchor VWAP there is toast, and you've got one now here, which is right there at that daily anchor VWAP, or at that 20-day pretty much. So yeah, not a bad one there really.
No, looks good.
Okay, so ES. Oops. There you go. I don't think we moved much since I ran this earlier, and I adjusted the zones in my mind already. So the TGR zone, I adjusted so that it's really just capturing kind of the open and closes and stuff. Like I didn't drag it all the way up to capture the wicks. I kind of left that for the one above with photo ADRs, WTGR, and gap fill, and left the TGR zone pretty narrow. Let me pull up the daily here. You do have the daily anchored VWAP. I left the swing one on there just for representation. But you've got that date VWAP just kind of right between trend strength and that one there. All right, 4073. So it's actually in this. It's actually in here. Yeah, yeah, it calls it a weekly at that point, but good enough. And then what else do we have here? So you got the. It's picked up this kind of weekly pivot point. I don't really like that. I mean, it's there, there's some stuff, but it's really kind of muted. There's not a lot to me with that weekly pivot point. I almost rather would want to wait and see, you know, if we fail this photo ADR, top of supply and demand, 50-day EMA, daily anchored VWAP there, I don't know, I want to see or try it WPP. I think I'd rather just kind of try it full. At least in my mind.
I was thinking maybe to widen that, so like get a top end of the supply and demand with the expected moves 50, the swinging for VWAP, and the weekly pivot, the pivot point. Like make that one zone, it's about a 10-point zone, and then add you a little bit at the 40 yards. Like,
yeah, I can see that.
I really care about the photo.
Yeah, I could see that. Just pull that there like that. Just call it as that. Yep. I kind of like that better. Nice call. And if we fail that, then you've got the gap fill tier 2. Expect to move cheat stuff. Top edge supply and demand. And then if you don't stick that, then you got the tier 1 end of week and WTG. But I mean, that'd be a pretty massive move there too. Basically be giving up that most of that entire move we had since the second.
What happened there? I didn't hear you. Are you gonna make the photo ADRs on that full thing, or are you just gonna watch it to see if it moves up?
No, so I did kind of what you said is, just drag it down to capture the tier 1 cheat, the top supply and demand, weekly pivot, and then just call out the full as a div.
Gotcha. I just noticed you put the little note right next to it.
Yep.
Possibly.
And then what I was saying is, like, this to me would be massive. Like, if you came all the way down here, I mean, now you're giving up the entire move pretty much from the second if we come all the way down there.
Yeah.
I mean, this would even be really massive too. Like, I don't think you really want to see much lower at all than this this big zone here. I mean, to me, this is really kind of brink right there. You give up this, and like, you're coming back to that 39.80s level, and maybe you stop at the daily anchor VWAP there from the 24th. I think that's ES. I think to me that's. I'm not going to do anything here at this trend strength. Maybe after we open, if there's something that's super clear, but I'm just planning to leave it alone. I think this would be an interesting one with monthly pivots, trend guides, daily day VWAP. I mean, that's probably a 2. Maybe a 1. I definitely see this here as a 2. I have to watch and see where breadth and stuff is with this TGR NVPOC daily anchored VWAP 1. Like, I'd almost rather see if we come up here to just wait, watch price action and breadth, and then get more prepared for this zone up here with the tier 1 cheat, gap fill, etc. Yeah, to me that's kind of ES.
What's interesting? Yesterday, so near the close, kind of like where we stopped on ES, which was the gap, anchor VWAP there, and just a couple other things.
Mm-hmm.
It was also last month's FOMC low structure there, which is really interesting. However, on the SPY, it was still quite a few ways away. On the SPY, FOMC lows is with the 20 and monthly pivot point. Just a little interesting thing.
So sorry, hit me. So the right in that area where we stopped here yesterday at the lows, at the kind of right there, at the close, was the gap VWAP from on SPY.
Sorry. So at CS, yeah. So like where, no, what I was trying to say is just like where we closed pretty much at the low yesterday on ES 3:35 Eastern. That was the FOMC from February. That was that low. Also with the gap anchor view up, right? On SPY's FOMC lows is a little bit lower. It's where we have the 20-day.
Interesting.
Yeah, a little interesting thing. I just picked it up.
Oh, that closed the NVPOC too from last week at that same time in gap fill.
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Nice. All right, NQ. NQ is kind of similar yesterday too with ES, and just kind of where the daily anchor VWAP just kind of, I mean, it shot past it, which no big surprise on NQ, but it hasn't been able to get past it at all overnight either. To your point, let's see where FOMC kind of lined up on it. Oh yeah, no, it's way above the FOMC. That's right, because it nailed the quarterly trend guide. To NQ is kind of clear to me, at least the way I laid it out there. I did add a zone with the full ADRs and that trend line. I did kind of ignore though this this high from yesterday. I didn't take up that WTGR zone as high, because I already felt like it was pretty big, although I guess alternative would be is to ignore TGR and drag that up like that, and then just kind of ignore the photo ADRs. Sit outside my door and fucking call kids. This MPP one is just kind of in the middle of the stuff over the last, really since Friday's close, but it does have some swing VWAPs in there, double gap fill actually, but it is definitely kind of middle-ish. especially looking left, like we're just through there a bunch of times. I guess it's not too bad the more I look at that. I would actually probably take this down here. Well, I take it back. This isn't as clean now. I guess it's not too bad. So you got trend strength in the middle, which you don't really care too much about, and you got MPP, gap fills, swing A VWAPs, then below that TGR, supply and demand. It's really kind of standing all by itself. Although there was kind of this stuff back here. Yeah, so it's not too bad. Come back and kind of retest that stuff. And then it failed that, then you've got the daily anchored VWAP there, I'm sure, off the 20. Yeah, pretty damn close to it. Bottom supply and demand and VPOC. These are just super close to me. I'd say that it's still 50 some points, but $195. Well, that's 20 points. It's not terrible. But the bottom edge would be 55, so it'd be a 50-point zone. That's too big.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about how I would structure that, so I don't know.
I guess what you could do is actually do it like this. So take the photo ADR one there and just drag it up to capture kind of almost, maybe even just like that. I mean, just overshoot the 20 a little bit, grab the NVPOC, and then, you know, maybe come back a little bit and then come down and grab the ADRs and weekly pivot. Like, how often does it actually stop at the supply and demand? It's very and then treat that as a div there. I just don't like that. It's there, but wow, I still think that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Except for widening out that zone, that looks good.
I guess it was good. I said screw it with the GC one and left. It did not hold that zone. So we actually kind of combined these two here. And we kind of combined this stuff here, at least to a degree we did. Q. While I'm typing, I will load up RTY and Q. I'll grab my coffee real quick too. RTY keeps rejecting that inside trend strength reference point zone quarterly trend guide, and I'm sure there's some swing AV WAPs in there too. Really massive rejection yesterday off of that daily anchored VWAP from the highs. It's in a hell of a pinch now too, and it just responded amazing to that 50-day daily anchored VWAP on the lows. At least when I went through this one earlier, that seemed fairly clear to me when I kind of drew it up. Did make that one zone a little bit wider with the WTG weekly trend guide and daily trend guide reversal. But it just felt like if you didn't, then it's just two back-to-back zones almost there with weekly trend guide, daily anchored VWAP, 50-day, and then just right below you've got the TGR with the tier 1 end of week cheats on it and structure at 1890. So I just felt like you kind of needed to combine those together in my mind. Of course, assuming we don't hold this gap fill, NVPOC, annual pivot point, daily anchored VWAP zone. So I don't know. So to me, RTY seemed kind of nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can add anything to it, but I don't think so.
Okay.
into this range.
Yep.
Jump to this breakout and then just right back inside again. Usually that means we revisit the other side, right? It's also a pretty massive bearish engulfing on that daily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe we go grab the OPEX sheet on it too.
Interesting.
I mean, it's only 60 points away. It's not, wouldn't be unheard of. Or maybe we come back down here today and tag the trend guide reversal, daily trend guide reversal, end of week, come back up, hit the annual pivot, and then hit it maybe later this week or something. I don't know, but all right. Well, that's going. I'm gonna load up YM. RTY, now YM. Okay, good. I didn't do the wrong thing. Man, this makes me think that there is something there, right, with that, the way YM responded off that supply and demand and cheat there. That's really, really interesting.
Yep. It's not the only one.
Yep. Yeah, Meta is interesting too, for sure. TG2. So I ended up expanding this here and removed from calling it a div into calling it a full-fledged zone. So you get the tier 2 daily cheat, full ADRs, gap fill, and monthly trend guide. And then below that, expanded this WTG zone and kind of minimum tier ADRs is what it'd be, to include the NVPOC, tier 1 daily cheat, photo ADR type of stuff. And then this TGR zone was super small, and so I adjusted it actually and dragged it up to include yesterday's high and to grab the NVPOC from yesterday. And then what else did I do here? Narrowed down a little bit, it looks like, the trend strength reference point zone. So it wasn't quite as wide. We pretty much, I mean, except for that little poke above, really just been kind of trading inside of this little zone all night long. And then below that, actually let me take this zone and drag it down a little bit. Oh, that's fine. So I was trying to do with the TG zone was to capture kind of the close yesterday, and then you've got the 20-day top of supply and demand. I don't know that, I guess you could maybe put a swing VWAP here. Yeah, it puts it right in that area there. Right at TG. And then I split these two up, so we've got monthly pivot cheats, tier 1, and then made this into a zone, so you get the weekly pivot, NV-POC, bottom edge supply and demand. This swing AV off from March 1st at that hitting an OpXG is probably going to keep rising coming up into this zone here too. So it's kind of why I changed it from a div and made it bigger to be a full zone. And then left the full ADR just kind of by itself because there's nothing else there in my mind in that area until you get down further at the annual pivot, daily and weekly anchored VWAPs, gap fill, etc.
You know, I'm pretty good with that. So one of those little things that it's just that MPP zone.
Yeah.
Like it's, I like the zone. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that there.
Yeah, it's kind of a 1 to me almost. Like I'd have to look at Dia and see where it's at. I don't have stuff drawn on here at this point. But it could be interesting in that it's monthly pivots 332, 331. So would probably key on that one to kind of see where DI is at and how is it trading and tracking and stuff. It's tier 1 daily is down closer to WPP, and that swing VWAP from the first.
Yeah, good one. Yeah, it's a lot clearer to me.
All right, mark that up. Y'all have, oh shit, I didn't see that. I'll look at it in a second. That's not the zone I meant to mark. Did not include that as a zone. Added zone, supply and demand, NV-POC, WPP. The VWAP should be in there too. YM. Comma YM. Okay, and then what was Tim saying on CL? Okay. I'm going to look at GC first because I already have it loaded up here, and then we'll flip over to CL. Assuming I can find it in my list here. There it is. It did not adjust these though. Okay, so the day VWAP here on GC is just a little bit lower. It's so the swing AVWAP is up here. We're flirting with it now in photo ADR, top edge of this annual pivot point zone. The day VWAP is down closer here at 1841. 1840, give or take, in that area. Yeah, really sick yesterday too on GC at the highs. Double top. Kind of from Friday's highs, and then yesterday slightly lower. Swing AVWAP, daily anchored VWAP, just all right in that area.
Can you double check that daily review up for GC?
It's on February 2nd.
February 28th. No, the other one, sorry, the one from below. The price window.
Okay, so that's February 28th at 3 a.m. And then over here. Yep. Yep, we're right there right now.
Yes, sir. Alright, just wanted to make sure because you said it was a little bit lower, so I was like, wait.
Yep, nope. Nope, good call. I took off the piece. I wanted to go and adjust the code on this, on the label. It's drawing so much, like, you know, so I want to adjust it. So I took off some of the drawing pieces, and so I just want to show the date on there, make it so you can see the date and or time. Although I guess what you could do is this. Yeah, look at that, Brian. You thought ahead.
Nice. And that was a nice little response there.
Yeah, of course. I said in my thing, like, okay, got to be paying attention. So I tried, you know, at the zone that I kind of liked there before, where there was a trend line and an ABCD completion into that TG WPP area. So I tried, and of course it failed. And then we're talking, and then so I got to keep an eye here. But anyway, I think, like I said, I already went through these ones and kind of carved them up. I am kind of thinking though that this div kind of goes away though, because it's marked as a bigger div, but with full ADRs moving down. Gotta be careful what I say with Cesar here. He puts crap into people's mouths.
Not me, man.
Uh-huh.
I want to talk about sliding down poles and whatnot.
I've never said any such thing.
Oh man, is that Vegas finally caught up to you, huh?
Please. I don't do that kind of crap. I don't have the bankroll to do that anymore.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Riding on that pole overnight. That's what you said. Exactly those words.
Nope, I got it on tape. That's a knot. In any event, if we if we move through this zone here, then to me, kind of that next one is the full ADRs below bottom of the auto supply and demand, the NYMEX gap fill, and then the tier 1 end of week cheats, which Yeah, that wouldn't be below last week's lows, but it would be obviously taking out that kind of March 2nd lows there. It'd probably get people excited that we're going to continue down, which I guess you could kind of make that case from an ABCD, right? Especially with this double top failure there. It puts you at that bigger zone down there, like not a today thing, but
I just find it interesting. What else is there?
yeah, and there's that. I mean, this is actually the that structure piece too from back in November. You know, we came back and kept kind of testing and playing with in this area here too. So that's pretty interesting. It's also interesting enough to note too that it's the tier 1 OPEX cheat. So again, not a today thing, but I'm gonna note that just. Okay, and then so below, if we keep failing down through that full ADR tier 1 end of week cheat, then you hit the November 3rd day VWAP, the tier 2 daily cheat, which again, like in my mind, kind of what we've looked at and tracked. Like if you blow through kind of that tier 1 cheat, then more times than not, you go and attack the tier 2 and try to go and collect it. But like with a force, not just a small tap below and no real closes. You could, I guess, expand that one and come down and grab kind of that structure line at 1825, but if I remember, we noted that before. Yeah. Let me do this. That would be kind of interesting. So maybe do go ahead and kind of grab and expand this to grab that. Or should I say include? We can get rid of this.
Whatever you like, BK. You don't gotta be careful with the words, brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. If we do decide to get crazy and start to reverse all this, this would actually be interesting too. This this zone above, this NPP, January 27th daily anchored VWAP, and that 1871 structure area. Where do we open overnight? 57. That'd be a pretty major move for gold, although you got to keep in mind Powell's talking later today too. Actually this morning, I think it's like 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern he starts talking. So and it's still interesting too, like it, pushed down into the first kind of tiers of symmetrical extreme on the 20-day, and then pushed right back, and it's kind of rejecting that 20-day and 50-day for that matter. Anyway, I think that's good for gold. It's going to mark that. This actually changed a bit from when I drew it up. because it keeps moving down. Okay, so we adjusted the trank strength zone to include 50-day EMA. It's no longer photo. Yep, that's fine. So we did adjust this one to include that. Okay. GC. Well, I've typed the stuff in the other room. I'm going to load up CL. GC. Okay, while CL loads, I'll be right back. I gotta check on something real quick. Alright, sorry about that. I had to check on people. Alright, so CL is going to be up a tad higher here. I bet you it completed its ABCD there. No, we still got potential on it, and it goes up to full ADR, so that could be interesting, especially if it does hold that trend strength zone here. Be 2 days in a row, because yesterday was trend strength and swing AV WAP, I think pretty damn near close to the tick, and then it moved up 200 ticks. Since CL has moved down, should expand this to include the tier 1 daily cheat and then the ADRs as they've moved. I don't know if I'd go really higher than the WTGR2 zone. It's also the OPEX cheat. And make it a bigger zone just to include that, to be aware. Maybe treat it as two separate things. This is a 30-week, 81.80, right? So it's interesting. Up in this area too would be the 30-week SMA. It's kind of between these two zones. keep sending Tesla down, please. Yeah, make Tesla go grab the TG zone. So not overly convinced about these two divs right here, actually. The div at a little bit of structure there at 77.83, 20-day, and then down lower, swing A VWAP, tier 1 daily cheat. Nice work, man. Of course, he's not even on to here, so. Oh, crap, we ran out of music today.
All right.
Yep.
Is he supposed to be anchored here? Yeah, I guess he is. 73.80.
73.92. Okay, yeah, no, that's right. Oops. $79.13, which puts it right in this zone here. And in fact, there should be a secondary ABCD, I think, here too. Nope, doesn't quite do a 50% retrace. But it does put it in that same damn area. That's just too coincidental. The thing that I'm just unsure of, I don't know if you have a different thought here, is really kind of these two back-to-back divs. Right below WPP there. So you get a weekly anchored VWAP. Photo ADR, WPP. Yeah, so it's 20-day structure, and then you have tier 2 daily cheat and the weekly anchored VWAP from February 10th. And it looks like I actually added this div here. Sorry.
I almost don't really want to hear about that 20-day.
Let me see where
Maybe if this anchor comes up and joins it, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's a lot more structure down with this swing anchor view than the actual 20-day stuff.
Yeah, I think that's why the structure line was marked there. There's been some good reactions kind of in this area. If you look left here on the daily,
And you would almost make that like a zone. So I'm looking at mine here, I would get
yeah, I guess you could make it like a 30-cent zone type of thing.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what I got on that. the 20 days pretty much at the top end of it, let's say. So you could, yeah, probably just do something like that. Maybe that swing could go up and move up.
Yeah.
You don't have to make that so wide.
Well, it's also dragging it down wider because of the tier 2 daily cheat there.
Yeah. GC just tagged APP got failure.
Nice. I wonder where gold is at. GLD.
Actually, a ABCD termination as well.
Copy. GLD. So it's down at 170. So I'm just going to pull over GLD here real quick. So it's in the middle of nowhere almost here on GLD. So it's at 170.93. So it's way below APP, WPP, and stuff on it. Yeah, it's almost like GC is going to want to tag the daily dotty there down a little bit lower, which would line up with kind of the swing AV WAP here on GLD. I'm going to just fix this real quick. I don't like not having any kind of the label stuff there. Just draw the marker. Anyway, sorry, let me finish up crude here. Okay, so we said, yeah, sure, we'll mark this. Oh, not that. That's way too high. This one. And then our trend strength reference point zone, which we normally would skip, but treat that as kind of a div. Then you got WPP, 50-day, and then we combine this into a zone. We got that. Yep. CL. And then come over here and paste that too. Cool. Got anything else? Gonna look at?
No, man, that's pretty much it.
Alrighty.
Amazing session.
As always.
You have a good one. Anything? I'll let you work.
Alright, thanks, will do, man. Thank you, appreciate it. Have a good one.
Take care, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, folks, and that is it. We're going to wrap the live prep there. That was live prep for March 7th. Definitely some interesting ones. Like I said, kind of happy and sad at the same point. Like, did try, from part of the journal stuff the night before, did try to give that GC a shot. It was, certainly kind of interesting there. may have talked ourselves into it with seeing where things were lining up, but would have sucked equally, if not more, to have not tried and seen it really kind of rocket off of that inside-ish lower edge zone, however you want to think about that. So the crude is definitely one to keep an eye on here today, and like I said, that GC, like if we set up for that bigger move down, that would be really, really interesting as well. So I think that'll be it. One other kind of just side note comment thing that I'll make is, folks, if you do all this amazing prep in Ninja, make sure you save your workspace. No sense in doing all that extra work and losing it. So when you get done, click, go ahead and click the workspaces and save your work so you don't lose it. So obviously the majority of the stuff I'm going to have the algo just rerun for me, but even still, I still make adjustments, still look through where and how things are lining up, and then make some tweaks. So do yourself a favor and do that. In any event, we will catch y'all later. Hope everybody has a great session, and we will talk with you tonight on our post and tomorrow in live prep again.